first of all, how dare you? I was expecting 4, maybe 5 responses to my Instagram story asking for college Q&A questions, and well, you gave me 48. So now I'm going to try to answer all 48 of these questions to the best of my ability, which probably isn't a good thing for all parties involved. On a much more serious note, thank you so much for all 48 of the questions. It's really crazy that I got 48. I know it's not like a crazy number, but it's also not a low number, you know? So thank you so much. And now let's get into the video. Oh, also, one other thing. I'm going to be reading the names of everyone that submitted the question. So, because I don't want to mess up anyone's name, I'm just gonna intentionally mess up everyone's name. Dan Isle asked, how many units is too much? You know, it really depends on every person, and you'll learn when you go to college what your limit is and how many units is too much. But I would just say, for a general rule of thumb, once you get over 15, that's pretty adventurous, I would say. I mean, over 18 and up in the 20 range is like very adventurous. So, if you're in the 15 range, you're doing pretty good. I asked, how long did it take you to get adjusted to college life? Okay, you say adjusted to, as if I'm adjusted to. I'm not. There is a lot of improvement that needs to happen, but I guess I started feeling comfortable once the first midterms were done. I was like, okay, I got a little bit under my belt now. I'm officially a college student. 1 exam done. I can do this. And then I learned that I could not do this, but I'm still here. So, that doesn't mean I can do it. It just means I'm still here. I've noticed a lot of people say they're nervous coming to college, and I just want to say, once you start moving into your dorm room and you start getting everything set up and you make it feel more like home, it's going to feel much more comfortable. So, don't worry. Once you get here, things, well, not here. This is my bedroom. Once you get to Davis, you'll feel much more comfortable and it won't seem so alien and foreign. You'll feel really good, trust me. Brill Ann's Heth asked, best bike shops in Davis. I don't know what the best place is, but there's a place called Green Bicycle Depot, and that's where you can get really good cheap bikes, and that's also where you have to go to register your bike. So, if you're looking for cheap bikes and a place to register, well, I think it's the only place to register? I don't know. Green Bicycle Depot would be your best bet. Really, any bike shop works, but if you're looking for a low price point, I would go to the Green Bicycle Depot. Hydre Marai asked, what's your favorite on-campus study spot? I do not have one, because I do not study. I'm just that smart. No, I'm kidding. I actually have this like weird thing. I don't like studying in public. I just like can't focus. I feel like I focus too much on other people and not myself. So I don't do too much studying in public. That being said, my favorite study spot would be the library or Olson Hall. Brill Ann's Heth had another question. Tips for balancing schoolwork, extracurriculars, and fun/social life. I would say the best thing for this is just create a schedule and then try to stick to that schedule as much as you can. I still struggle to keep a schedule because, you know, I lay out every hour of my day and then I have a, you know, little mini existential crisis because I'm like, wow, this is exactly where my time is going. But ultimately, at the end of the week, if you do follow your schedule, you'll feel like you accomplished much more. So, make a schedule and stick to it. Berlan's Heath comes in with a third question and says, what's the best way to lock a bike? Probably with a lock, I would say. No, seriously, if you want to have like a secure locking, what the hell is that? If you want to securely lock your bike, put the U-lock around the body of the bike and the front wheel and attach that to the bike rack, and then take a wire lock and wrap that around both wheels and the body of your bike. That will give you your best locking efficiency, I guess you could call it. And I did do that for like the first 2 months of school, but then I found out, oh, bike crime isn't that big of a thing in Davis, so now I just U-lock and I've never had a problem. People can still steal my back tire, but no one's really been a big fan of my backside, so I don't worry about it. Make Malk Tay said, when should you give up trying to get a spot through waitlisting? Example, number 40 on the waitlist. I would say stay on the waitlist and talk to your professor on the first day of class and see if there's any openings. And if you need that class, I would just keep going to it until you find out whether or not you're really in or out of it. And I'm pretty sure by like the 12th day, if you're not in through the waitlist, then it's a no-go. So if there is room in your schedule and there's no conflict, I would say just stay on it. But if there is conflict, you might want to consider getting out if you're like at least not number 10. It really fluctuates big time, and sometimes they open entire new sections. So there's really no good number, but I would just, you know, talk to your professor. Make sure he or she gives you input and then move forward from there. Or, you know what, just drop the class and drop out of school, because it's stupid anyways. Bizhaile asked, not a question, but please school vlogs video soon. I'm going to be at school soon, so maybe there will be some vlogs. What a dumb answer. Huh? No, yeah, when I go back to school, I'll be sure to make a vlog just for you. Just one vlog, though. Don't push your luck. Okay? Those things are like gold. You find them in a river, and 4th graders go on field trips to find it. What does that mean? Make Malkte with another question. What is your most/least favorite memory from Davis so far? My most favorite memory from Davis this far. What? That wasn't English. My most favorite memory from Davis so far. Man, I don't know. I don't know if this, I feel like this sounds bad, but there's people at Davis that watch my videos and it means a lot when they come up and like have a conversation with me and they're just like the sweetest person ever. It really makes my day. So that's really great. I don't know if that's like a bad answer because like, is it a bad answer? If it is a bad answer, I'll just go with my second answer. That one time I went to a frat party and I just got plastered against a wall because they taped me to a wall. My least favorite memory from Davis so far. Okay, so back in 2017 September, I was driving Davis, I had all my stuff in the back of the van. I got there, unload all the stuff, get in my dorm room, and yeah, that's probably it right there. Yeah, when I got to Davis. I'm just kidding, Davis is great. How could I have a least favorite memory? It's impossible. No, it's not. MaximumKnee.c asked, what do you suggest doing during your first week at Davis? Whatever you can do with freedom, because you will lose it. No, you won't. I'm sorry. Wow. No, it's not scary. Davis and college is great. What should you do your first week? Okay, so there's like a bunch of cool events they're putting on for like welcome week, and I would try to go to as many of those because it's the first week, everyone's trying to make friends and everyone's just out there doing stuff. After the first week, we have to worry about class and other useless stuff, so we're not out as much. So that first week I would really take advantage of all the like social events and things happening. A lot of clubs are passing out their flyers and being like, hey, show up to my thing. So if it sounds mildly interesting and you think your kind of people would be over there, then I would, show up to their thing. Real Jack Alaska asked, how does anything work? Does it even work? Okay, let's tackle this one. How does anything work? Yeah, I would say so. Second part, does it even work? Nah, well, actually, yeah, I would say yeah. Ooh, longtime friend of mine, Andre Wah, asked, how much money do you make at college? It's not a job. Is this why you make me pay for all our meals when we go out because I go to college? It's not a job. I'm losing money. I am not making money from that experience. Hefty Ajay asked, how does one properly study for the Math 21 series? I would hit up the calc room as much as you can, see what resources your professor has to make sure you can do all the practice you can, because really, to do well in Math 21, pretty much all you have to do is practice, 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 because the test is just those problems with different numbers. Prinkade Dale asked, what's the best way to get textbooks? Probably with all their pages, because, that could mean a whole chapter's missing. So I would probably get them with all their pages. No, seriously, how do you get textbooks? Amazon or Facebook is your best bet. Try to find a Facebook group that's centered around Davis. I don't know of any, but your class probably has a Facebook page. Actually, no, they do. I know they do. So feel free to send a message in there if anyone has a book. Sometimes people will just be holding on to books, but they're like, no one needs my book. No one's taken this class because I took it and I hated it, so no one else is gonna take it, right? So they could just be holding on to a book. So feel free to send out a message and be like, hey, I'm looking for this book for this one class. And then that person holding on would be like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for you, but here's a book. Ed and Eddie asked, did you feel like you had adequate free time your freshman year? Yes. Did I use it well? No. This goes back to that earlier question. Just create a schedule, keep a planner, and once you schedule your week, you'll be able to see exactly where you have free time, and it makes the experience so much better. So, yes, you have free time. Do you spend it well? Well, not all the time. No. Bean Hewlett asked, do you care that so many people know so much about your life because of these wilts? No, I don't. The thing is, my wilts aren't really a great reflection of my life. It's basically just a place I can tell stories and practice my editing so that other videos I make that aren't wilts turn out, pretty decent. So when I put wilts out there, I don't even think it's really that great of a window into my life because they're just stories I take that I turn into some kind of joke and then just put out there. I feel like what goes on with the day-to-day of my life really isn't that much online. So with the wilts being out there, I don't feel weird about it. I actually think it's really cool when people bring up my wilts and be like, hey, Dominoes, right? You like that? So I guess to answer the question, I think it's cool. I don't think it's weird at all. John Lennon asked, what's the most important thing I should pack for my dorm? I would say definitely shower shoes, because when you go into a shower, that's being used by other college students, and you don't know what college students are doing in the showers. So the bottom of the showers are probably, you know, ooh, little yucky. To say it nicely, we'll say yucky. Yeah. So I would say definitely shower shoes. Also snacks. You're gonna want a snack. And this one's not necessary, but you could bring a printer and then everyone would want to be your friend. But you don't have to, because Davis gives you like 200 free prints or something in the printer room, which is like really close. So while you don't have to bring your own printer, if you want some easy friends, you can make the investment. Usair Name asked how to get internships and on-campus jobs. Well, you're in luck, because there's this thing called the Career and Internship Center. I think it's called that. I'll put the name of it right here. So if I was wrong, which I probably was, it will be here. Go to them and they will give you all the information you need to do that. Ex Boye Mose asked, what's UC Davis? I don't actually know. Ah, okay, yeah, no, I did know that. Kawhi Mortgage asked, what is your favorite thing about Davis? I think the people are really solid. Like, I've been saying this since day one at Davis, like, the people here are extremely nice. It's at the point where I feel like everyone wants something from me, you know? Like, someone will hold the door for you, and then you're like, okay, bud, I don't have any money on me, so I can't tip you, I'm sorry. And they're like, oh no, I was just holding the door for you. Yeah, holding the door for me. No, you don't just hold the door for someone. So yes, my favorite thing about Davis is that everyone's so nice. They hold doors open and they treat you with respect. How crazy is that? Love Overture asked, I'm losing motivation. How to not? Also, tips to succeed on exams. The motivation thing. Just keep changing things up. Keep things interesting. You know, I've heard that's what adults do with their sex life. So if things aren't fun anymore, change it up. You know? One thing that I found if I like really get stuck on homework is to just break my homeworks up. I'm not saying they were like, you know, romantic and then I was like, no, stop that. I'm interested in you and I want you, so I'm gonna break you up. It's not that kind of thing. When I say to break up your homework, is like maybe do 30 minutes math, 30 minutes physics, 30 minutes math, 10-minute break, 30 minutes math. That way, you know, you're always changing it up. You're not just doing 3 hours of math, 5-minute break, and then 7 hours of physics. You know, you're kind of breaking it up. And tips on exams. I would just say study. Make sure you know what building you have to go to. Relieve as much stress as you can. Just get all the details that you know for sure. Make them for sure. That way the only thing in question is the test material. And for tests, you pick C every time, right? So, no big deal. No, but it's like the general stuff, you know, go to office hours, study every day a little bit, make sure you know stuff before you go on to new stuff. It's just like the same stuff. How do you succeed in school? Just do all that. I don't think there's like a Krabby Patty secret formula. I think you just have to work hard. Isn't that weird, right? You would think there's something, but there's not. It's crazy. Van the Baban asked, why did you switch your major? So, for those of you that don't know, I used to be computer engineering and now I'm electrical engineering. And as you can imagine, there's a lot behind this, but I'll just give you the brief synopsis, I guess, just a little TLDR. Computer engineering is very programming heavy. There's a lot of computer science. Electrical engineering does have computer science, but it's nowhere near as much as computer engineering. And while I do really enjoy computer programming, I think it's fascinating and a fantastic skill to learn, it was just going way too fast for the quarter system and Davis, you know, the speed they take it at, for me to really enjoy computer engineering. And so last summer I was working full-time at Intel and I was talking to my coworkers and I was talking to them about college majors. And what I learned is that if you either get an electrical engineering or computer engineering degree, they'll both get me to where I want to be. And this whole summer I've been doing a full-time internship at Intel as well, and this has become very evident. You just need to get a degree in either computer engineering or electrical engineering and it'll put me in the same spot I want to be after college. And so because computer engineering was so CS heavy and it was so difficult, I decided to take this route that better suited my skills, and I decided to go the electrical engineering route. By the way, this kind of goes back to Bean's question of like, how do you feel that your will let people know so much about you? There's actually like a lot that people don't know, and this is one of those things, is that this whole summer I've been doing an internship at Intel, and then last summer I was working full-time, and then even into the fall quarter I was working part-time. So if you go go back to my wilts and you see me wearing a polo shirt fall quarter last year, those are the days that I was working at Intel. So yes, there's a lot I leave out, but that's just a brief history of why I went from computer engineering to electrical engineering. Van the Babin also asked, does Davis ever get boring? Yeah, of course it gets boring. If you do anything for a long time, it gets boring. That's why I have 3 girlfriends. I kind of cycle between them. That way, you know, I always feel fresh with them. No, but seriously, I just have 2. And Davis does get boring. That's why you gotta always switch it up, go downtown, find fun stuff to do, and just keep putting yourself out there. Because yes, it does get boring if you sit in one place, but there's plenty to do if you just get up and get out there. Beeswibbiz asked, what's your favorite food on campus? Oh man, okay, huh. I'm acting like this is the hardest question I've ever gotten. I just talked about why I changed majors and now this food question stumped me. I would say in the DCs, they have a fantastic cookie selection, so definitely hit that up. And then there's also this food truck that you'll see in like a future wilt, which is actually like 3 months old or something. And there's this really good food truck that had these fantastic enchiladas. So cookies and enchiladas. Those are pretty solid. Hungary Buys said, please film a huge mukbang. That'd be cool. I don't think I could do it just alone because I have the stomach of like a small baby kangaroo. But if someone else wants to do it with me, I'd love to do one. Yeah, I would just waste too much food if I did it by myself. EABN asked, any resources on campus that you suggest we use at UC Davis? Yes, the toilets, if you have to go to the bathroom, they're fantastic for that shit. Resources on campus, man. There's so many of them. There's so many of them. In each residence hall area, there's like an informative area where you can do like study hall stuff. They have really good answers, so I would talk to them. Personally though, are there resources? Man, this isn't a resource, but really go out and see the Arboretum. It's pretty dope. That's not, no, you don't want to hear that. You need things that help you with school. I'm sorry. The library is really great. The calc room. Oh my god, why am I forgetting that? The calc room is fantastic. Go visit the calc room. They're great for science. No, they're for calculus. I don't know why I made that joke. It's a dumb joke. I think because I gave such a bad answer, what you should do is go talk to your professors in office hours and then ask them, hey, what do students for our class usually go and use for your class? Because obviously you're not helpful. No, that's rude. I would be active in the Facebook group for your class. They probably have really good answers. Me just deflecting all the responsibilities because I can't answer for anything. Wow, okay. I just realized my answer is basically, yeah, go search for yourself. EABN also asked, should I buy books before class starts or after syllabus day? Definitely after syllabus day, because there's a lot of classes where you don't need a textbook. So go to class and then find out, oh, do I need that or not? Why did I say it like that? The only time you would get it before class starts is if your professor sends out an email with your syllabus and it says, yes, you need the textbook. Then get it before day 1. Adea Straw asked, how do you handle being so sexy all the time? Oh boy. Well, you see, I don't wear deodorant. That way the hordes of people that come at me for my looks just get instantly repelled because they're like, ooh, he smells like old onions. EABN also asked, what sites are best for cheap books? I see ads for slug books, but don't know if it's legit. I feel really bad, EABN, because you've asked these questions. I don't have good answers. The site I pretty much use exclusively is Chegg. They take care of all my needs. They're like a really good butler. Like if one butler is really good, he can take care of the whole house. So Chegg is like my one really good butler. So yes, Chegg is great. I don't know about slug books. I don't know if it's legit, but it sounds like it's associated with Santa Cruz, so I would turn the other way. Juez asked, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you at college? Okay, well, right off the top of my head, I thought of my answer, but it's like a 4 to 5 minute story, and this video is already way too long. So, I'll tell this one instead. I was riding my bike, and I was behind Bixby Hall, which is this resident hall that's over in Segundo, and I was riding my bike behind it, and I needed to get up a curb, like onto a sidewalk. So I'm riding my bike parallel to the sidewalk, and you know, I'm riding it going forward in parallel with the sidewalk. I've restated things now once, so I hope you're following. And I'm riding my bike, and I realize, oh, I need to get on that sidewalk. So I look at the sidewalk, and I'm like, how am I gonna get on that thing? And then the best thing my brain comes up with is just turn into it. So I did, and I just turned into it. The sidewalk's here, my wheels just scraped up against it, and I just tumbled off my bike, and the bike fell on me. I don't know if anyone saw it, but if they did, I think I played it off rather cool, because I got up, and then I looked around, and I was like, no one saw anything, okay? And I think that I think that covered that situation. Battalion Hey There asked, is it cheaper to stay in the dorms? It really depends. If you find a cheaper place off campus, then it's cheaper, but the things that the dorm offers is really just opportunity cost because you're nice and on campus, so everything's accessible. So you gotta think, is living off campus, even if it's like $50 cheaper per month, is that worth it because I'm gonna be off campus? Or would I rather pay the extra $50 on campus and just have easy access to everything? It really comes down to your preference and what you want out of your living space. Bean Guy asked, favorite ice cream? I don't know. Oh, I'll give my answer that I gave when I was applying to become an officer for a club in high school. I said chocolate chip cookie dough because it's chocolatey like me and the cookie dough is just as raw as me. I have no idea what that means. Now that I think about it, actually. Why did I say that? Hey there, Kalila asked, what is the best advice you've ever been given regarding to college? Man, oh man, best advice. I don't think I've ever received, no I have, I definitely have, but I don't remember it. But the best thing I learned from college that I can give someone else is that you can't let one day affect all your other days. In one of my classes, I ended up failing a homework, and it was kind of a silly reason that I failed it. If you ask me, it was not my fault. And to this day, I don't think it was my fault. But I went to my professor and I was like, hey, I ended up failing this homework. Is there anything you can do? And he basically said, no, this one falls on you, bud. Okay? So, no way, Jose. And I was like, my name is Gauruv. And he was like, whatever you say, Jose. And I was like, oh wow. Yeah, I'm really not getting anywhere with this guy. So I ended up leaving there very defeated, but I had a project for that class due the next day. I wanted to go home and just sleep because that seems to cure everything in college, or actually just give the false impression that you're doing something. But as bad and defeated as I felt, I knew I needed to complete that project and turn it in the next day at like noon, so I had to just work and do it and turn it in. And that day alone taught me that you can't let one bad day ruin your entire day, because if I didn't complete that project, then my whole quarter would have been thrown off because I would have been doing terrible in the class, and I ended up actually getting an A in that class after failing that homework. So don't let one bad day affect all your other days. They can be great. Gold's A asked, can you talk about financial aid and rude to loans? Like, do you start that stuff after applying? I think you meant road or route to loans. I don't know. I'm sorry, Golds. But I don't think I can give you a good answer. I would talk to any financial person at Davis. I can call, you can email, you can look online, but I don't know if I'm qualified to give you that advice. I know you can apply while you're in high school and then get those things when you go to college, but I think even now I've said too much. I don't know if that's true. So I would look at online resources. I don't think I'm the best for this. Wheat Thin Train asked, how challenging is college compared to high school? College is much more challenging than high school, I would say, but the way you succeed in both is the same. Create a good schedule, make sure you understand stuff before moving on to new stuff, and use all the resources you can. So yes, it is more challenging, but the way you succeed in college is no different than how you succeed in high school. You just gotta stick to your word, or in this case, planner, a little more. Smooth Thighs Cries asked, are you a frat boy yet? Yeah. Yeah, brah. Yeah. Is that what they say? I don't know. Kaha Sharemother said, I don't have questions so far, but I wanted to say hi. So hi. Oh wait, never mind. I thought of one. For freshmen, how should we get CS/engineering internships in the Bay? Okay, well, first of all, hello. How do you get CS and engineering internships in the Bay? You apply for them. Imagine if there was like an office you could go to in the Bay Area that just you go to there. And they're like, what do you need? And you're like, oh, just an engineering or computer science job. And they're like, oh, yeah, here's 7 of them. No, that doesn't exist. So what you have to do is just apply everywhere you can and just, yeah, that's pretty much it. The one piece of advice I can give you is that these companies like to see that you can work well in groups and that you're very technical. So do some studying, learn some technical stuff, and participate in things in school that show that you work well in groups, whether that be clubs, group school projects, or pretty much anything that puts you in a group. That's not a seance. I feel like that's kind of crossing the line somewhere, you know? Juan Vav asked, do people still sneak food from the DC even if you're not supposed to? Asking for a friend, of course, even if you're not supposed to. Right, yeah. No one breaks the rules. Yeah, no one does that. Stop looking at me, okay? Abe asked, is there any way to get into the college basketball team for an international student especially? I don't know if there's a way to get on like their official team. I've been knocking at the door like every day and I'm like, coach, come on. You saw me hit like 3 free throws in a row. Come on, they were granny shots, sure, but they went in. You want results? I'm giving them. So I don't know if you can just knock and get in, but no, more seriously, I don't know how you get on the official team, But if you're interested in rec league stuff, then in the dorms around wintertime, that's when basketball rec league opens up and you can just sign up in your hallway. Your RA will go over it if you're interested in that. As far as the professional college, like UC Davis on TV team, I don't know how to get on that. So, I'm sorry. If I did know how to get on the team, I think I'd already be on it by now.
You think so, dog?
No, it was a goof. I didn't mean it. He called me out really quick. Now, Runningfield asked, is it better to focus on the classes that deal with your major than those that don't? I would say don't focus on any classes. I think all classes are stupid. No, I'm kidding. Every class is hard sometimes. A GE class might be smooth sailing for about 3 weeks and then really hard for a week and then smooth sailing for another 3 weeks and then really hard another week. Whereas like maybe your major class is just moderately hard the whole time and then extremely impossible at certain weeks. So as the quarter or the semester, I'm sorry, it could be either one. As the schooling period plays out, you'll see what classes demand more of your time and what classes can take a back seat. Bees Are in London asked, how's bike theft in Davis? How to prevent it? Bike theft is pretty easy in Davis. I have about 3 bikes I think I've stolen. So yeah, no. No, bike theft isn't as bad as people make it sound, okay? It's not bad at all. I've never said that on video. It's not bad. At all. If you lock your bike in the way I said earlier in the video, you'll have no issues. If you want to prevent it, do the U-lock and the wire lock example I said before, and get a crappy bike. Because you got to think about it from the thief's perspective. If they see a really nice bike and your crappy bike, they're probably not going to go for your crappy bike. No, I'm kidding. Kind of, actually. What I did is all the logos on my bike I covered in black tape and then I like scratched the tape up to make it look rugged even though it was brand new. But no, seriously, just do the 2 locking thing and you'll be set. Bees Are in London also asked how to work on campus. There are popular spots like the Coho, other places. Nice description, the Coho and other places, holy crap. I would give a visit to the Career and Internship Center. They can really hook you up with the good deets. Bees Are in London also asked how to balance schoolwork, orgs, clubs, vlogging, social life, and alone time. Oh, I didn't know my conscious could write questions. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm just gonna go back to what I was saying earlier. Create a schedule, stick to it best you can, and you'll accomplish as much as you can. Lex Out asked, how does the washing and drying work at Davis? I'm pretty sure with like a power button, you just like press it and then boom, it's on. Such an asshole, oh my god. No, seriously, every residence halls on the first floor at the very end has washers and dryers. So I think you just put in quarters, or maybe you swipe your card. Every residence hall's bottom floor, very end, there's a bunch of washers and dryers. H Geneva Convention asked, what is the best advice for someone who is worried about the academic rigor at Davis? Oh man, this sounds like me talking to my counselor, holy crap. I would say, don't worry. Wow, such a bad piece of advice, right? You know, don't you hear when people say that? Like, oh, I'm stressed, what do I do? And then someone's like, oh, just don't stress. Yeah, no, shit, that was what I was asking about. No, but yeah, the best piece of advice would be to create a schedule and go in and get as much help as you need. You're allowed to get as much help as you need, okay? If you need help, this is what I've learned from working and from going to school. If you need help, you're stuck, scream for help. Well, don't scream outside. I got arrested for that, but really let your cry for help be heard. Go to your professor, go to these resources like the calc room, talk to your peers, do anything you need to succeed, because it's your degree, okay? No one else should care but you. And unfortunately, you know, a lot of the time professors don't care, but you should care. So go out there and scream for help if you need it, because we do, okay? But just let your screams be heard. Don't do them into pillows, okay? All that does is freak out your roommate in the middle of the night, is what I've learned. So yeah. A Dry Los Angeles asked, is hookup culture prominent at UC Davis? Well, there's like, you know, what, I think like 43,000 students at Davis, and you can only look at the same 20 to 30 cows so many times before it gets boring, so yeah. I would say yeah. Rises Harma asked, first week of classes, should I walk or bike? I would say neither. Drop out of your classes, because if you drop out, you don't have to do any of that. No, I'm kidding. The first week of school is probably the busiest it'll ever be on the roads with bikes, so if you feel comfortable, get on the road. If you don't and your classes are within walking distance, then go ahead and walk. I felt very uncomfortable biking, but I still biked the first week and I had no problems. So really look at your own comfort level and decide whether or not you want to bike. If you feel good with a bunch of bikes, then the first week, I would bike. If you don't, there's no problem with walking. Plus, when you walk, you get to take in the scenery. I think actually, you know what? Walking would probably be the better option here. Am I gonna do it? No. I'm for sure gonna bike, but I can I can give advice that says otherwise. What is it the parents say? They say like, don't follow my actions, follow what I say. Yeah, just like a bad parent. Do that. Alright, well, I answered all the questions to my best ability, so I hope that was helpful. I know this video is going to be a bear to edit, so please leave a like. It would mean so much to me, and share it if you want to. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram, and I've never talked about this, but go ahead and join my Discord if you want. It's also in the description of the video. I'm going to talk more in there, try to set up things in Davis, so if you're interested in that at all, go ahead and join my Discord. And now that I've done a Q&A, I feel comfortable doing it. So if you want a personal one, I know, no one cares about me, but I've been doing YouTube for like over 2 years now, and I realize I've never done a Q&A, so if you want a personal Q&A, comment down below. If I get 10 comments that say they want a personal Q&A, then I'll do one. Okay? Alright, yeah, that wraps up the Q&A. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed. And, my name's Virk, and I'll see you next time.